Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. I'm currently staying for the next 5 nights in the seaside town of Barmouth in North Wales. And at this very moment in time I'm doing a panoramic walk just above the town of Barmouth, which looks down over the Mouth estuary. And I'm about to start taking some photos here. The main reason for my stay is I've got a few days, well a week in fact, of annual leave booked. So I'm spending the next 5 nights here in Barmouth, and whilst here I'm going to travel around North Wales to a few other little local spots, taking some photos and vlogging everything, and you will see the various different vlogs from my different locations over the next 5 days in the coming weeks. I'll probably do one for each location, I think, and maybe if I've got time 1 or 2 more as well, but I'll talk more about that in a little while. But yeah, at the moment I'm just walking around a place called Dinas Oleu. Now apologies if I've butchered the pronunciation of that. I'm not a Welsh speaker and it is in Wales, so I hope I've got that right. Please don't get too offended if I haven't. And yeah, I'm looking for some panoramic shots above Barmouth and above the Mouth estuary. So I think I found my first composition just a few yards on from where I'm standing. So I'm going to go and have a look at that now and see if I can take a photo there. And if it's any good, I'll talk you through it in just a moment. So this is very much the composition that I'm looking at, as you can see out there, just over Barmouth itself. That's Barmouth Beach there along here. And then along here is the harbour wall, essentially. And then you've got just here, this is the estuary running towards Gellfechen, way down in the distance. And obviously over in the far distance you've got the mountains just there. And there's this beautiful headland sticking out into the water as well. So I want to try and capture a photograph. There's also another little headland just here sticking out into the water, and I want to try and capture a photo of that. I don't know whether I'm going to encompass all of this view here, this panoramic view here. I may do using a panorama itself, or I may just take a wide angle shot of that scene. But essentially I'd like to kind of zoom in a little bit just on the wall and these 2 headlands jutting out into the water. Hopefully they'll work quite well. If I'm taking the shot of the 3 subjects, really the wall and the 2 headlands, what I'm going to try and do is zoom in with a 100 to 400mm lens, and try and get fairly close into that and make it probably a portrait orientation, so it'll be taller than it is wide. But obviously if there's a wide angle or even a panorama shot just here, then I'll take that as well. So I did actually take 3 separate compositions of that scene just back there. I don't know which of those I'm going to enjoy the most, but look at the views behind me, just so I look back towards the path I've just been down. Like I say, I don't know which of those I'm going to enjoy the most, so whichever of those I've shown you now, I hope you've enjoyed it. I may have shown you all 3, I may have shown you just one of the 3. I really don't know yet until I get them back onto my laptop. But yeah, there was one panorama shot with the 100 to 400mm lens at 100mm f11 ISO 100, and 1/500th of a second. And then there was one wide angle shot exactly the same, but at 1/250th of a second. The light was just changing very, very slightly from one scene to the other. So 1/250th of a second was enough for that on the wide angle shot. There was also one portrait image which is a much tighter crop, and it just about captures that wall at the very bottom of the image, and then the first headland and the second headland behind that. That looks rather nice. It's a little bit abstracty, a little bit arty-farty, something I don't really do very often. So I don't know, maybe that one will be on there as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the images so far, whatever I've shown you. I'm going to move on now and see if I can get to the top of this panoramic walk, because apparently the views at the very top are even better than this. So here goes. So I've kept on my walk further up the hill, and as you can tell I'm out of breath because it's been an uphill struggle. But I found myself in this beautiful but dilapidated miner's hut, which is just on the side of the path as I walked up. And I've already found a couple of compositions that I'm considering taking. Just outside of here, across the back of this broken down wall here, you can see a bunch of headstones or an outcrop of rocks just sitting on the top of the hill there. And that looks great as you look through the gap that the wall creates. But also I think just from inside this hut itself, there's a great view here just towards the front wall of the property, obviously with the lights coming from the opposite side of that wall. That's very, very dark, but you can just see the scene behind it in the window just there. There may also be a shot through the doorway. I'm not so sure about that one though, but I do like that shot through the window. Just got to work out exactly where the composition works best with that particular shot. So I'm going to stop here and take a couple of shots anyway, and then I'll move on. I've walked probably about 50 yards, maybe 100 yards from where I last spoke to you at that little cottage, or the miner's cottage, whatever it was. And I found another one just behind me here, and outside of it there's a board which gives the name of a web address where you can go to have a look for more about the history of this place. And I think that's quite interesting. I haven't looked at it myself, but I will put a link in the description to this particular website. So if you want to, you can go and have a look at the history of this place yourself. I know I will be having a look at some point while I'm here, but that's really interesting. So I've taken a shot of that, and the light on it is beautiful at the moment, but I've got to tell you, excuse me, the light over in this direction is even better. And as I turn round, there's another cottage just there behind me that you can see, obviously a dilapidated rundown place. And there's also a bit of this wall that comes off the side of the cottage. Where am I looking? Just over here somewhere. The wall that goes off the side of the cottage leads the eye towards that headland that I photographed earlier out in the distance. And that's really interesting. That makes for a really nice composition. So I've taken a shot of both of those. The first one of this cottage behind me, Gellfechen, I've taken handheld, but this one further along I've taken on the tripod because I just thought it was a perfect composition, really. So you caught me just applying sun cream just there. Really important thing to do with my fair skin, and quite a warm day today. So I was glad that I brought that with me. But I wanted to show you that scene while I was doing that, because I love that little bit of stone kind of wall that's been built up on the left hand side of the image, and the kind of brickwork that's built up on the other side of the image as well, which is kind of in silhouette a little bit. I'm not sure you can see that in the image, but I wanted to go wide angle with the stone wall on the left hand side, looking out towards that headland once again. That makes a really interesting image, and I think quite a lot of these images that I've shot today are pretty much using that headland out to the in the distance in the sea. That headland I've discovered is called Llwyngwril, and I'll put some more about that in the description as well to let you know what that's all about. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. I've enjoyed being up here. I'm going to call it a day because it's tea time. It's gone 5 o'clock in the afternoon here. So I want to get back down and get something to eat, and then head back to my guest house where I'm stopping for the next 5 nights. If you've enjoyed the vlog, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please also remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.